Ladies and gentlemen, the Delhi government is scrambling to get its act together on pollution in the city. Its best laid plans, if they had any, have flopped. Its total lack of preparation or seriousness has been completely exposed. Now, yesterday, based on a Supreme Court observation, the Delhi government announced that Ola and Uber services that are not registered in Delhi, which is Ola and Uber cabs that are not registered in Delhi, will not be able to enter the capital. The bar on their entry was to kick in on November 13th, most likely, when the odd and even scheme is expected to kick in. Today, Uber, which has 70,000 cabs in the NCR, has called the move mobility lockdown. It says the move is unscientific, it's unnecessary, and causes huge inconvenience to people of the NCR. Uber is stressing that all of the 70,000 cars on its platform across Delhi NCR run on clean fuel, CNG or electric, as opposed to private vehicles which run on petrol or diesel, which are more polluting fuels. Uber also says any shift from private vehicles to CNG or electric cabs would only abate the pollution by encouraging people to move to cleaner fuels. Question is a panicked Delhi government mindlessly implementing measures that are best described as band-aid? Is the ban on non-Delhi Ola and Ubers one of these measures? Let me put that question to my guest this evening. This is going to be a very quick chat. Dilip Cherian is founder, Perfect Relations, joining us on the broadcast. Tanveer Pasha is president, Ola and Uber Drivers and Owners Association. Thank you very much. Tanveer, I'm coming to you first. Look, the fact is, once again, for a 7th straight day, pollution levels in Delhi are such that people cannot even step out. Schools have been shut. Something needs to be done. The Delhi government believes that odd and even that kicks in on the 13th is one of the measures. And taking a cue from the Supreme Court, it is saying that any vehicle on Uber or Ola's platform that is not registered in Delhi cannot enter Delhi, which means an Ola Uber from Noida cannot enter Delhi, from Gurgaon cannot enter Delhi, from Faridabad cannot enter Delhi. It's one of the ways to fix Delhi's pollution. Does Uber have a point? Why does Uber have a problem with the move?
No, this is literally nobody can accept it. This is totally a wrong step, which is going to be taken by this Delhi government. Whatever Noida, Gurgaon, it is all connected with the Delhi city. The vehicle has to enter Delhi city. Delhi city is very small city and it is city comma state. Okay. So government should not take this step. If they take, many people lose their self-employment. They'll become again unemployed. There are many ways and many decisions they have to take, which is not taking and not implementing by the Delhi government, because they are not like aware of how to avoid this pollution. It is not the way that you can cut down the unemployment. Stop the Delhi registration, old vehicles first. Stop this old buses, which is run by this diesel fuel, which gives a lot of smoke. So they have to think about such other things, not cutting the employment, and this city is connected with all this Gurgaon, our Noida, and this is all. Noida is almost what we call it, IT industries are too many, and many people lives in Delhi. Rohini connects with the Noida, so they travel frequently. So they can't give such kind of. So they cannot take. They cannot take such decisions.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying. Okay, you oppose this and you're not the only one opposing it. Uber has now officially written to the LG of Delhi and saying, please scrap this decision. But Dilip Cherian, the idea is coming from the Supreme Court. The Delhi government will simply turn to Uber and say, all vehicles, 70,000 vehicles on your platform may be running on clean fuel, but what can we do? What can we do? Yes, we messed up. Now we don't have an option. The Supreme Court has told us, so we are doing what we are doing. Do you think there is no application of mind when it comes to offering solutions which frankly go nowhere.
Reality is that there is application of mind, but it's applied the wrong way. Many governments, not just the Delhi government, tend to go for what I call the most obvious Bollywood-like targets. So Uber is one of those targets. I remember when we were helping with Uber's entry strategy into India, there was a sad occasion when somebody got molested in the car. Now this happens in taxis, in buses, etc. But Uber is such a big brand that you go and ban them and everybody pays attention and thinks you've done something. I think the fact is that Uber's vehicles are largely either CNG or electric. And I think that we actually ought to encourage the use of these non-polluting vehicles. Therefore, this application of mind is completely the wrong kind of statistic they're looking at. They're just looking at what will give them maximum impact and mileage in terms of being seen as doing something. Being seen as doing something effective is the furthest that they're thinking about. So I think that this is wrong. I think Uber's letter makes a point, and I hope the LG in his wisdom will act soon to make sure that the government doesn't take the wrong step.
Now, Dilip, of course, a fact is that we still don't have all details because the Supreme Court hears the matter once again tomorrow. In fact, we don't even know if the Delhi government will be allowed to go ahead with the odd and even scheme because the Supreme Court has called it mere optics. And we know that it is mere optics. When you have such a long list of exemptions, until one point of time, even app-based cabs were part of that exemption, and you allow some 80 lakh two-wheelers to continue to ply on the roads, what is the point of having that odd and even scheme kick in as well? It will be counterproductive. That's the point that Uber is trying to make. My point to you is this. It's not just about Uber. It's also about inconveniencing citizens who live and work in the NCR. There's so many of us who will work in Noida, live in Delhi, or vice versa. So many of us who live in Gurgaon, work in Delhi, or vice versa. What do? Our companies haven't told us that you can work from home. How do we get from place A to place B? This is simply inconveniencing citizens because you messed up. You messed up. You didn't do your job. Now you're trying to ruin our lives.
You know, I think that the Supreme Court certainly has to exercise its mind carefully. But I think that, as we discussed earlier, this needs to become a problem that needs to be solved over the years. For example, what you mentioned about two-wheelers. Why should two-wheelers not be given a clean certificate if they do not pollute? If they pollute, they certainly need to go off the road. So the kinds of arguments that we need to look at is what will make our roads and our environment cleaner. And in any case, most people know that vehicular pollution is only probably less than a third of all the pollution that we need to be worrying about at this point of time. Let's have much more stringent action where it matters.
Dilip Cherian, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. This was a quick chat. Mr. Pasha, thank you. I know you're not in the country, but you're joining us. Tanveer Pasha, thank you very much for joining us as well. Let's see what the Supreme Court says tomorrow. Go ahead.
I am standing,
Mr. Pasha,
in Azerbaijan. There is no any two-wheeler here. Such a beautiful weather I am enjoying here. There is no any craft vehicles here. Only taxis are running. There is no any much to. I really can't see two-wheelers apart from the food delivery. I am in Baku right now. So Delhi government should take such kind of decisions for the betterment of the pollution.
Enjoy yourself in Baku. Enjoy yourself in Baku, because if you come back to Delhi, God save you. Thank you very much. Let's move on.